So that was always been my path. Is it similar to you guys growing up?
That's him. Me, I had an uncle that is only is only 7 years older than me. So he was into the
kids.
Jesus Christ, you can't pull us around there.
Hey, you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. It is August 31st, 2025. Hanging out on the Sunday morning. If you like music, I think this is the place to be. I got two guys who got a podcast. Both rock and rollers from the music scene. Yeah, from our old stomping grounds. And let's bring up Mike and Dave. Hit the stage, everybody. And here they are. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Welcome to the show on a Sunday morning.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning, sir.
I know. Look, these guys are all worried. Look at how behaved they were. They were just saying the F-bomb, cursing. I told them not to curse for the first 5 minutes. Now they're all sitting there with their hands folded like this. Good morning, sir.
You almost got me with hands folded because my first instinct was to put up a rude gesture.
It was like freaking little middle school. Everybody's like, no, Mr. 757 Hustle Show. Mike and Dave, welcome, everybody. I know Mike from the music scene. We actually shared the same drummer. Dave, what band were you in back then?
Okay, so I spent a good amount of time with Shadow Demise and Embrace Agony. I was with a couple other bands, but really I was a Roxy guy. I worked at Roxy with Mike for a couple years.
For those who don't know, Roxy Studios was a rehearsal studios in Queens, New York, right underneath the bridge when you
Long
come out
Island City, yeah.
So you guys are both originally from New York, right? Always been in New York?
Always been here. Yeah.
Brooklyn born and raised.
Queens.
Okay. So we both have kind of like the same origin story when it comes to music, right? We all grew up listening to local radio most of the time, right? I never had cable growing up. I never had MTV. It was always my neighbors, or and I consider myself a rocker, but I didn't grow up listening to rock music. I'm a son of immigrants. You know what I'm saying? I'm a son of immigrants. So I grew up listening to my dad's Greek music. I grew up to my mom's Colombian music. And whatever music I listened to was either on Z100, way back in the day. Z100, because, Z100 would play Motley Crue and they'd play the Fresh Prince.
Bon Jovi.
They were the pop rock station.
Yeah. So,
right.
So you would know, like, I didn't know any B-side songs. If it wasn't on the radio, I didn't know of those songs. So that was always been my path. Is it similar to you guys growing up?
That's him. Me, I had an uncle that is only only 7 years older than me. So he was into the
kids.
Jesus Christ, you can't pull us around there. Wow.
He didn't deny it. Mike did not deny it.
He would play the records for me. He listened to Judas Priest, and AC/DC, and stuff like this, right? So I've been into it since I was a little kid. I stayed along that path. I listened to Metallica early. I listened to all this early. And I never realized that I was the outlier, that a lot of people started later. Like, that's foreign to me, finding the music in your almost high school.
Yeah, I was high school.
Like you have a similar story.
Yeah, you were like working for a living by the time I started listening to metal.
Well, I've been working for a living since I was 12. I've been working since I was 12. Seriously.
Right out the womb.
Yeah, the corner, the streets.
Out the womb.
Yeah.
Three estimates right out the womb.
So I've been doing it since I was early. And then it just progressed from there. I'm more into like what happened to me, I guess, in the high school age is I found more of the punk rock stuff. So I kind of switched gears in high school, where I grew up like a metal guy, Megadeth, Metallica, all this. And then in high school, somebody showed me Rancid, and it changed my life.
Yeah, it changed mine too. I learned to stop listening to stuff I didn't want to listen to.
Well, then you started a podcast with me, and now I make you listen.
Now I'm forced.
And I can see that, because I was the same way. I was like, I'm supposed to listen to Britney Fox because I'm a metal guy. You know what I'm saying? I was falling into that, where I'm like,
right.
I bought the new Faster Pussycats album because I'm supposed to be a rock guy, but I'm not digging this.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Never did.
That late hair metal stage was rough.
And then, what was your story, Dave? How did you get it?
I had an older sister who listened to hair metal.
Right.
Because the guys were attractive to her. And I hated it. I just couldn't stand it. And my sister, who looks like me but without a beard, well, she's getting older, so the beard's coming in nicely.
That's
yeah, trust me, no, it's not.
I am happy.
I guess maybe from like here to here it'd be all right because I got supples. But yeah, it was a mess. But she got me started listening to music, and then a dude in high school just handed me a stack of CDs and said, "Listen to this." And this dude, he had one of those Count Chocula Widow's Peaks. Weird dude, but he got me into Slayer and Pantera out of that.
Listen,
I will never forget that. It might have here's 5 CDs.
1, 2.
Yeah. Rain of blood. So I was.
He was also an Italian immigrant, and he would get on the phone, like he'd get on the payphone in high school to call home to see how his parents were doing, and it would be completely in Italian. And then he just switched back to normal Brooklyn
Italian
in a second.
25 cents more to continue call. So you guys grew up listening to music. So music's a big thing in your lives.
Music was a huge thing, especially like my dad was really into the oldies. Like even for an older guy, he was listening to stuff from the 50s, in the 80s on a regular basis. CBS FM was like the
CBS FM. Remember,
everything sounded like it was recorded in the gym. Yeah. I love that. I used Cousin Brucey was like my uncle. It was one of those, like I heard his voice more than I heard some family members. But that was how it was. There was always music in the car. Like my wife drives places without music, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Do we need to have a conversation?
She must hate you. Yeah. If she ain't playing music in the car, she hates you.
No. I mean, she'll just get in the car and start driving. Without, like, I'll call her. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm driving." I go, "What do you listen to?" She goes, "Nothing." I go, "Ew."
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, she just raw dogs the drive to work.
If you don't have music on driving to work, that's dark time.
Yeah. That's a rough one.
I park my car outside my job every day, and I go, I could just start the car again, and they'd never know I was here. Yeah, they'd never know. I don't do it. I end up, getting out and going to work like an adult. But I think about it every day.
You want to know where Dave comes from? So, can I tell the story? So, what was it, last year?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Right before, 2 years ago?
Right before my dad got sick.
So, 2 years ago, Dave's mom had a stroke, right? And, we took a little break from doing this, and because it's her house. We're driving here, and I'm like, is she okay? This and that. And he's like, yeah, don't worry. So we walk in, and I have all my stuff, and I put it down, and I say, hey, how you feeling? And I swear to God, George, she was like this, I'm okay. And I went, oh my God. And Dave starts laughing. She starts laughing, and she goes, no, I'm fine, Dave. You're cool. Don't worry. I was like, oh my God.
If you wonder where I get my sense of humor from, it's from both of my parents, because it was my dad's idea.
Oh my God. Terrible. I felt terrible.
How's it go? So, like in the 90s, like, okay, so Mike, you got a family, right?
Yeah.
You got kids, right? Dave, no kids, just wife?
No.
I have a 9-year-old, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I have a wife and a 9-year-old.
So how are your
not
kids?
The same. Huh?
So sometimes. So how do your kids how are the kids with your playlist?
He loves metal. It's because it was on in the womb. Like anywhere my wife and I drove, there's music playing. So he would react to double kick in the womb. Like he'd start, moving around. When he came out, he started singing. Like the second he could talk, he started singing or humming melodies. The first song I ever caught him singing along to was a 12-Foot Ninja song, which is just straight up heavy metal. I couldn't believe it. I was laying there and I hear him mumbling the words as he's falling asleep. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm so glad. And even if he ends up not liking what I like, just having that moment is always going to be special.
Right. See, my kids liked it in the beginning when they were younger. I have a picture of the three of us in my kitchen. I was listening to Pantera while I was cooking breakfast or something. And there's the three of us like this, but then as they got older, they don't enjoy my music. I just took my oldest son to see for his first concert. We went to MSG to see. Now I don't know if you're going to know this guy, George. Tyler the Creator. Do you know Tyler the Creator?
I got kids. I've heard the name.
Because I didn't. Yeah, so we went and it was great. I'll tell you what, the 2 opening acts terrified me, and not because of what they were.
It sounded very racist.
I thought that as soon as I said it. So
I couldn't see them until the lights turned on.
The first,
it was teeth and eyes, you racist piece.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
So
you got kids.
So,
yeah, you couldn't see them through the slits in your.
So the first band was three guys rapping, and I mean, for what they were, I guess it was good. The second guy was one of those mumble rap guys, and he was like whispering into the microphone. And I was sitting, my son, a few of his friends, and the parents. So I was one of the parents. I was sitting next to one of the moms, and she looked at me and she goes, "If this next guy, meaning Tyler, the Creator, comes out and he's anything like this," she goes, "wake me up when he's done." And I was like, "I'm with you," because it was so.
I'm gonna
boring.
Just guess it was a white woman.
Of course. Come on.
Yeah.
Wake me up. So then Tyler the Creator comes out, and I gotta say, like I told Dave, it was one of the most boring concerts I went to, and one of the best concerts I went to, because this guy put on a show. Tyler the Creator, I had no idea. I think I listened to one song just to see what it was about, and I couldn't get into it. But the difference between live and
it's like I've heard that name, but I couldn't tell you what he looks like or any of his music.
Yeah,
but I know I've heard that name.
It's
other people.
I guess it would be considered. See, I don't know what. I guess it would be hip hop. I'm not really sure because it's
pop rap.
I don't know, because hip hop has branched off as well, like metal.
It's got all these subcategories.
So many subcategories.
Yeah.
But it was great. He put on a great show. He wore, for the first half of the show, he wore this mask. And I was shocked that he made it that far, because it was hot. It was in the summer. It was hot, and I was like, Jesus, this guy's wearing a mask.
I used to die. I see these guys wearing all this stuff. I used to die on
leather
stage.
jackets and stuff, right?
Just having trying to be cool. Let me put a jacket on, or just another button down. I couldn't even survive at Castle Heights for 30 minutes having an extra shirt on me. I don't know how these guys are wearing.
Just the lights get you.
Mm-hmm.
And playing with the collar flipped out of the blazer. I try to look cool at some point. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I've tried it all. But nah, man, it's got to be a t-shirt and a t-shirt ready to go when I get off stage.
Because that first one's covered in tit sweat.
Yep, that's it, man.
Been there. I actually played a show in a white t-shirt.
But I think a live performance is still very important today.
Now, since this podcast, I've changed my views, and you can even listen to the earlier ones where I was very, if Dave put something on there, I was like, I would say I hate this. Now I say I dislike this. I only because we have gone to a few concerts now where I don't know the music, or Mike or Dave tells me, listen to this, and we're gonna go see this band, in a month. And they did that with the Winery Dogs. I don't know if you know who the Winery Dogs are.
Yeah, that's with Portnoy, right? Is it Portnoy?
Yeah, yes. Portnoy, Billy Sheehan, and Richie Kotzen.
Now, first off, we saw them in Patchogue in Long Island, right? And it was at a theater with auditorium seats, like in school.
Oh. It was like sitting at a center.
And I know it's hard to believe, but if you
loud.
Yes, exactly, Huey Lewis, right?
Just too dang loud.
So I don't know if you know, if looking at this, you wouldn't tell, but when we first started this, Dave and I were much larger. I've lost 20 pounds. You said you lost 60.
I've lost 60
right?
overall.
So
Mike and Dave hit the stage, sponsored by Ozempic.
It's Mounjaro, but yes, you are correct, sir.
I was paying the bills, man. I'm like, please.
It's getting the job done.
Anyhow, so we went to this, and I had a great time. I mean, except for the sweating and the being way too close to Dave and all this.
I am adorable.
So you are, but you're quite large and sweaty in an auditorium setting. So Billy Sheehan is the bass player. So in the middle of one of the songs, he does this bass solo, and he's doing it. And I'm like, yeah. And then he hit this note, George, that it touched my soul. It
hit his root chakra. You know what I mean?
So. So I don't say I almost don't say no to anything. So I've seen them with Dave and Matt and Mike, right? Then I went with Mike and Tony to beat, which is the
King Crimson tribute.
King Crimson. It was Steve Vai and I forget his name.
Danny Carey,
the drummer of Tool.
Adrian Belew and Tony Levin.
I wish
2 members of King Crimson.
I
That's a
wish
lot of talent right there.
Now, earlier today, I told you, I can't smoke and I can't do anything because I have a union job. But I wish I could have been high for that. Because seriously, because it was cool sober. I mean, I was a little drunk, but it was cool high. The one that I am, I'm not going to say. I will say a little scared that I said yes to. In 2 weeks, I'm going to see The Darkness with Mike at Irving Plaza.
Which I was about to say, I went to Jersey to see The Darkness with Mike and Tony.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most fun. And I was the designated Dave on that.
All right.
And it was a blast.
I remember Mike liking The Darkness back then.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves them. And he got me into them.
When a little thing was it? I believe in a little. I believe in.
I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah.
By the way, that's what we walked out of my wedding to.
I can't. Yeah. Nope.
Is Mike driving yet? I'll cut this part out. Is Mike driving yet?
No. Okay. You can keep it in.
You can keep it in. We make fun of him. We not being able to drive all the time. Yeah, he's a mass transit guy.
Oh, like,
and sometimes he'll just walk to work like a homeless guy.
He does, like 5 miles.
Yeah.
He's like Kate. He just walks the earth.
Yeah.
That's funny. So okay. So you're listening to music. Music is part of your lives. How do we get to Mike and Dave Hit the Stage?
I'm going to let you do this.
All right. Yeah. I'll start and then you take over. So in 2020, we had the pandemic, right? My kids were little. I didn't know when the hell we were going to get out of it. They said 2 weeks. 6 months in, we're still locked in our houses. So I ordered a bunch of podcasting equipment, right? And I mean, nowadays, a basic set you could get for like $30. I spent a little more. I got, like all the stuff. So I set it up a couple times and I did it with my kids. But like I said, my kids were little. So listen, I saved those recordings because it's great to listen to now. It's fun. But as I noticed that I wanted to do something with it because, we don't do bands anymore. We have certain people who say they're retired. We'll not mention any names, Mike. And stop! I was talking to you. Not me, Mike. Other Mike. I know it's so hard how many Mikes there are. But so I wanted to start a podcast of my own. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So everybody I would ask would go like this. Oh yeah, all right, I'll do it with you, definitely. Because I tried to do it myself, and talking by yourself is very difficult. I don't know if you do any by yourself, George.
I get what you're saying. Go ahead. I get what you're
saying. Right. So everybody I would ask would say, "Yeah, I'll do it," and I'm like, "Great, let's get together this Saturday." And everybody, I don't know. And I'm like, "All right," and then there would be no phone call back, no nothing, right? So here's another secret about us. We're a couple of nerds, and
big shock.
And we play once a month. We play D&D, right?
Oh, nice.
So we all get together. Mike found this place in the city. They rent it. It's a workspace on the first floor with glass windows. So we're a petri dish.
Yeah,
of people walking by watching the nerds play Dungeons
Math
and
Rocks.
Dragons.
They watch us roll dice and yell at each other.
Right. So Dave and I, we knew of each other, but we never hung out.
Yeah, we never had the opportunity. I worked at Roxy, and then I was out in the work world, and you had already been in the work world at that point.
Right. And
like Mike and I, we know each other through the same people.
Right.
We were actually in the same band at 2 different phases.
Everybody knows each other through Roxy Studios ecosystem.
Right, or playing a show. Yeah.
And you had mentioned Mo. Mo was it was me and Mo Saturdays. Every Saturday. Like I'd open and we'd close together. I was there all day.
So we were playing, and I start to get to know Dave, and I mentioned at one of the games, I go, I'd really like to start a podcast, and of course here comes the guy, Dave. He goes, I'll do it with you, and I went, here we go again. So I said, all right, let's get together this Saturday. He goes, okay, and I was shocked, and we got together, and then you can't see it on this, but there is a slew of keyboards and wires and.
Trust me, I know.
Thank God Dave did it with me because I don't know where I would be today doing the podcast.
In the basement, jerking off.
Yeah, Dave hit the ground running and got all the equipment to do it, like better equipment.
The original title, Mike and Dave Get Hard.
Yeah, it might as well be.
Mike and Dave Hit the Stage was actually when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. We figured music, and then I was like, I suggested, I was like, well, what should we call it? Like Mike and Dave Hit the Stage or something like that? And he was like, yep. I'm like, all right, that was a suggestion, but it just stuck.
It felt perfect. It felt right. Like even we put Hit the Stage podcast on most of our advertisement stuff. It is just usually us. If somebody joins in, we make sure that people know that it's not the norm.
Right.
Like the previous 2 episodes, my friend Sean jumped in to help out. We had a gap in our schedule. He was on vacation. Yeah. So it was nice to have him, but I made sure that people know I'm not replacing the other half. Like it's not my podcast.
It's us. Yeah.
It's always felt like that. I do, like I said, he does the social media aspect because he is better at social media and I am better at the technical stuff. So I try to handle all the technical stuff.
That's good.
And we've done about 3 different versions of us sitting here talking in different tables, different positions, different mics.
This we set up today.
We did this in about an hour.
Each other.
Yeah.
But
I want to be able not to be able to reach his face.
We can't play footsies, but we could play skiing.
Oh, we can definitely play footsies under these long ass tables.
That's why usually when we do something, when we're watching something, there's a female, whatever. I'm like, all right, hands on camera, just to make sure.
No, you see, I'm okay. They made a little cut of this, but one time, I'm half Italian, right? So as you can tell, I can talk with my hands and this and that. And when I talk to people, I like to touch them. You know, I'm a toucher.
Your
what is it?
I'm a hugger and a toucher.
I'm a hugger and a toucher.
And the irony is, I don't like being touched.
Right. So I make the mistake, and this is it's not the reason why we sit across from each other, but I would always be, you know, and there's been a couple times where I have mistakenly touched Dave.
Above the waist, relax.
And
you couldn't handle all the schmeat.
And I recoil because I think the punch is coming, and he goes, no, I trust you enough that, you know, it doesn't happen that often. But
I've been through some shit, but yeah, I don't have to worry. You're not a threat to me.
We didn't cross streams.
No, we're not sword fighting in the bathroom up here.
How long has the podcast been going for?
It was 3 years with an 8-month break last year.
Already?
Yeah. We went through, we did the first, I want to say 60 something or 70 something.
73, I think it was.
And then we took an 8-month break. I had burnout. I lost family members. I was just kind of coasting on being alive. And then I didn't want to end it because I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things. I look forward to these as much as I look forward to playing D&D.
It's like a lot of people don't get it. We're musicians. We're artists. We need a way to emote.
That's what it is. Yep.
And I used to tell people I play bass just to get the demons out.
Yeah.
Like it gets the voices out of my head. It keeps me calm. And since I don't have a band that I'm actively working with, this and D&D and writing, those are all creative outlets for me. And they do the job, not as well as playing bass, but close.
No, I get it. No, I get it 100%, man. You know what I'm saying? The band I'm in now, I'm not the fucking greatest singer. I know I know my limitations. I know what I can do and what I can't do, you know? And but like I said though, I we're supposed to rehearse today after this, but the drummer's not back in town. We gotta switch it to Tuesday and blah 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 whatever. So I'm like, fuck, man. I was so looking forward to rehearse. I was doing this. I was all pumped up. I get to do this, and then you guys are gone, and then I get to jam back here with my band. We got new music we're working on. I'm really pumped, but you know, we got to cancel that. I'm like, fuck.
Well, it's postponed, not canceled.
Fuck.
But anyway. I always used to say, we got to cancel band practice, but we're really just putting it off because the idea of stopping. When I stopped playing, it was 2013 or 14, where I stopped going to the studio with a band, and it was depressing. And I thought about finding another band, and I just can't find. It's hard to find people that I gel with on that level. Like I found over the years, I handful of drummers that I loved working with, and I won't settle.
Let me explain
anything
this
less
to
than
people who don't know. Let me explain this to the people who don't know. It's very important. When you're in a band, it's no different than being in a business, a relationship, and a family. It's like all three
all
mixed
together. It's
all
the
together.
hillbilliest experience
It's like
because it is
your
a relationship
lover,
with a family member.
yeah, your lover is your family member and your business partner.
And you want to punch them all the time. And you couldn't imagine doing what you're doing with somebody else the same way.
Now, this is the crazy part, what you just said. My current band for the last, since 08, is called Dirty Toys, right?
Mhm.
This is the first band I've been in, besides the drummer and I having one dispute and we've made up since. I've never gotten into an argument with my guitar player. I could not. I remember Roxy. I have it on audio because you could record rehearsals.
Oh, yeah.
Me bitching at the guitar player because because we used to rent the big room in the back. So
D, yeah.
Yeah. We used to rent D because we were divas. So we used to rent the big room in the back. And I could hear him bitching that the big AC vent was blowing on him. And he's like, I'm fucking cold.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, because he was standing up against the right-hand side. They had the big vent. And I remember him, and you can hear it on the audio going, bro, I'm fucking cold. My guitar is going out of tune. And I'm like, this is old George. Just play the fucking song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, modern George is like, all right, man, let's figure it out, man. It's all good.
Here's my argument. The walls were lined with amps. Roxy was the first studio I'd ever been to that had more than one amp or two amps in a room. There was a selection of amps across the wall, and it wasn't like two of this and two of that. It was maybe 6 to 8.
Yeah.
It was two different Marshalls, a Soldano, a Roland Jazz, a Fender Twin. They were all there.
Different bass heads. Yeah.
Three different bass heads to pick, and you just had to ask for them to hook one up. It was great. If you didn't like where you were standing, move. I used to do all the time. I was the bassist. The bass was always, if you were looking at the stage, it was always to the right of the drum kit. Now, the thing is, that's where the guitarist was. That's where the amp he liked was. I said, okay. And I used a 20-foot cable, and I went across. And I set up on the other side, and I played on the other side. It's not that hard. I loved Roxy for that.
I love the Roxy. My guitar player used to come from Long Island to the Roxy, and he preferred the Roxy because every time he went to Long Island Studios or Long Island Sounds or whatever it was out there, it just sucked. The rooms.
I used to skip Brooklyn Studios for that same reason. I used to be maybe 20 minutes away from Fastlane.
Fastlane, yeah.
And I liked Fastlane because the guys I knew from high school went there, but then the equipment stunk because the guys were too lazy to fix things or clean things. Like the mics always smelled like somebody's dead breath. And Roxy had a policy that every mic was clean. You know, me and Mike used to spray those down with Lysol and make sure they were in good shape. And we did it every day.
I think
it was always done.
I caught herpes off one of those mics.
Now the question is, why was it up your ass?
I used to be in Tastamouth back in the day. I don't know what happened, but I remember
you didn't see the movie. You never go ask them out.
Never go ask them out. Never go ask them out. Clerks do. So music growing up. You do the podcast. You're doing the podcast now. What are you listening to now? I think we come from the last generation, and maybe the kids from the 90s, where I always say this. We grew up. If you didn't have cable, you only had what was on TV and what was on radio, correct? Right?
257, 911, 92.3, 104.3, 101.1, and Z100, 100.3.
Exactly. So that's all you had.
Yep.
So I think we come from the last generation, even though we wouldn't listen to rap or I'm not saying.
I did. I did when I was younger.
I'm not saying you personally did or didn't. But if you didn't listen to a certain genre of music back then, you were aware of it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right? Because it was contained. It wasn't, it's not like now. Now movies, everything's a buffet.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's oversaturated now.
You will never know about anything else except for what your algorithm is pushing. It's a curse. It's a curse. And it is also a great tool because I've discovered, which is what I'm going to come up next, through the internet, I'll hear something in the background in that commercial and I'm like, who is that? That sounds like Ozzy. And then I'm using this as an example. I'm like, that sounds like an Ozzy song. Is that a new Ozzy song? And then I'll look up new Toyota song, whatever, and it'll introduce me to a new band I never heard of before.
Yeah.
I think that part is really cool. Where like I said, it's like, oh, what is this? And boom, right away it takes you back. Or you hear a song. I heard a song growing up. I forgot the name of it right now. Here comes the funk, motherfuckers. Old band, MC5s.
Kick Out the Jams.
Kick
Kick Out the Jams. Yeah, exactly. I never heard that song. Yeah. I never heard that song growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it the other day somewhere, and I'm like, who's cursing like this? This sounds like me cursing on the mic, you know? I heard this. I'm like, this is from 1969. This is fucking blowing me away. And I heard it, but because of the internet, I was able to go through boom. But then I feel bad for kids who I only like this. So now I'm stuck because I'm not listening to what is it, terrestrial radio. I'm not listening even to commercials. You know,
terrestrial radio is dead. There's not even a rock station in New York. There's no rock station.
That's what I was going to ask. When I left, K-Rock was the only rock station left.
Yeah.
K-Rock is now 1010 wins on FM.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
It's the scariest thing because it also sounds nothing like 1010 wins.
It's so clear.
It's crystal clear. It doesn't sound like they're recording it from the back of a trunk as they're being abducted.
Yeah, I know, right?
I always hated that.
You give us 20 minutes, we give you the world.
Yep.
Even my dad,
they give you auditory pain.
Even my
it's all
dad,
static and
even my dad with a heavy Greek accent will make fun of John Montone. I'm John Montone. And win. So there's no radio.
I listened to a show with his son on it, Mike Montone.
Mike Montone. So there's
no war veteran.
So what are you guys listening to now? Is just whatever is on your cell phones, basically?
I got my old standbys, you know. I stick with one of my favorite bands of all time, and I know Dave's gonna roll his eyes. Clutch is one of my number ones.
It is
in my eyes. They never put out a bad album.
Disagree.
Right. So I got Clutch. Years ago, me and my wife found this. I don't know if you've ever heard Frank Turner. He started out as he was in a punk band called Million Dead. They actually just went on tour in England. He's from England. They went on tour in England this past month. But he went out solo, and originally he was doing what's called a folk punk, and it was very cool. Look at Dave's face. And
folk punk. Is that like this?
Yeah,
right up there with hip hop.
Peace and love, motherfuckers.
It was very right. So he's more transitioned to a rock now. He's more of a rock guy. He has a full band. It's Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls. So through that, going to shows, me and my wife almost we try now with the kids a little difficult, but whenever he comes to town, we go. And going to those shows, I found bands, the opening bands, which a lot of the bands he's done are considered, what do they call it? Gothic country or something like that?
I was going to say garbage.
Yeah. That one, yeah, I know. I'm not going to mention them, but they'll yell at us. We had one band we put on a list. Huh? We put one band on a list, and Dave ripped them a new asshole, and they contacted us and told us, wow, you guys hate us and all this. But I found
that would be the one time I'd be willing to fight somebody.
I would like to speak to your supervisor.
Exactly. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck, because we do this ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's in charge of the editing.
Right.
Supervisor.
So I've been getting into bands such as Harley Poe and the Bridge City Sinners and stuff like this, and that's basically where I am now. I'm in that. I'm on the punk and
punk adjacent.
Yeah, kind of stuff.
And I grew up with regular, straightforward heavy metal was the introduction for me, and I went the progressive and blues route. Groove metal, somewhat, but more like Dream Theater and Pantera and all the things that Pantera created got me interested in that Southern style. And then the New York power metal scene was always a huge thing for me because a lot of my friends were in power metal bands or at least heavier bands. Yeah. I stayed away from hardcore. It just didn't grab me until way later. And these days, it's mostly like the big production stuff, symphonic metal, some of the heavy produced progressive stuff, Steve Vai, and more recently, I had to look up the name. This band Darwin, which is Mohini Day, is an amazing like jazz bassist, but she's playing metal with these awesome other musicians. And I forget the singer's name, but he's also a very famous. He was with David Lee Roth's band for Eat 'Em Up and Smile. Really good stuff. He played bass on that, but of that type of stuff, it's really more of the heavy metal, death metal, power metal.
It's crazy as we get older, we realize how great some musicians are and still are, and how the fuck did they get famous?
I was just going to say, if you're saying about how great they are and talking about David Lee Roth, I'll hit the disconnect button right now. I cannot stand David Lee Roth.
Nobody
he had a great choice in musician.
Nobody can stand David Lee Roth, but he's the best.
Oh, he's such a douche.
And those new videos of Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
He sounds like Herbert.
Terrible, right?
He sounds like Herbert from Family Guy.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. I can't believe it. I'm like, I just, my cousin's like, come on, when they came out a couple of years ago when they got back together with Slash, and like, let's go, and I'm like, so I watched the video, right? I'm like, all right, let me see what they sound like. And they started off with "Welcome to the Jungle," so you hear that famous. I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, look, the hair. I'm like,
Here
oh
comes
my
the scream,
God.
right? Here comes the scream.
I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, fuck yeah, $500. Fuck yeah, I'll pay for it.
He runs out and he's like, "Welcome to the jungle."
Yeah, then he comes out and he's like, Mickey Mouse. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm reading the comments going, he rocked. He rocked. I'm like, are you guys? I'm thinking,
we were the same show.
Yeah,
were you in the different stadium? What was this?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it. It was a couple of years ago when they got back together and they went on that big tour. And I found this video on. Thank God for YouTube, bro. YouTube has saved me so much money.
It will prepare you for the torture you're getting yourself out of.
Can you imagine spending $300 to go? I mean, I love GNR. I love a live show, but the guy sucks. I'm sorry, Axl. You don't sound. You were one of the best. You were one of the best back then because you were able to run around and entertain and sing. Even though if people didn't like the sound of your voice, the man had talent. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Even though
when they announced he was going to replace Brian Johnson in AC/DC for a bit when Johnson was out, I was like, no, I don't care if it's its own thing. No thanks.
Art is subjective, just like music.
I'd rather chew on glass.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I remember growing up, people say, "Oh, you like Axl? That guy sucks." Whatever. It's a sound. You like it, you don't like it. But the man had talent, and as one of the singers, he is one of the few singers that is non-stop running around on stage and singing at the same
Bruce
time.
Dickinson.
Yeah,
that's Bruce Dickinson.
These guys do not just stand still and just stand there. If you watch Axl is just non-stop from day one, you know? And that's kind of like my personality on stage too, where I'm just active the whole time. It could be a nervous. It could be.
I don't know if you have you ever been into Dio?
I know their songs, but I could never say I was into Dio. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I know his hits, but I'm not like into him.
I was into Dio, and then I saw a live video of Dio, and then I was really into Dio because that little man was nonstop. Yeah. And I saw him in 2010. It was one of the last tours he did with Heaven and Hell. So it was Sabbath with Vinny Appice and Ronnie James Dio. So Vinny on drums and Dio singing, and it was phenomenal. He was all over the stage nonstop. He ended up apologizing because they ran a song longer than they should have. They ended up cutting one song short, and he came out at the end. He said, "I'm sorry we didn't get to the song, but we're going to try to do better." Like, who apologizes?
I'm so sorry,
but they were so good.
And that brings me to my next topic. You guys picking topics on your channel, right? How is that like? You know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever comes up.
I think of something stupid and I say it out loud, and he goes, "No, that's fun."
That's fine.
Mine recently, it used to be. It's funny if you look at the first few. It's like songs that make you sad, songs that make you laugh, songs that make you happy. Now I pick sometimes I'll hear a movie line, and if you look like
unusual weather we're having,
right? Unusual weather we're having, right? And that was from the Wizard of Oz. I was watching the Wizard of Oz, my favorite movie, by the way, of all time. And
we know why. Judy Garland, she's an icon.
Awesome.
I was watching that, and the part where the asbestos snow starts coming down in the poppy field, and the Scarecrow goes, "Unusual weather we're having," and I went, "That's a show topic." And I wrote it down, and I immediately sent it to him. Now, here's the funny thing about these lists:
we don't tell the other person what the topic means.
Yeah,
you just throw the title out, and the other person has to interpret their side of it
the way you do. So sometimes he'll pick songs that are completely different from what I thought. But that's how I come up with it. I recently has been hearing
So you admit that you're putting some effort into the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's low effort, but it's effort.
And literally, though, these lists come together, and I would say some of them take a little longer, some of them take days. But there are sometimes I'll send him a title, a topic, and 5 minutes later he's got all the songs he wants. I'm like, all right.
And he'll sometimes send a list, and it'll be the title and 4 or 5 songs he likes.
Right.
And I won't look at the songs because it doesn't seem fair to kind of peek at what his hand is. Yeah. And I'll just pick songs based on the topic.
The kids say you keep it real.
Yeah, we want it to be as
organic.
Authentic.
Natural.
Yeah.
Organic sounds
like
it should be soy milk.
That's awesome. See, I like that. And just like a band, right? When you come up with a song, if you work on a song for weeks, it doesn't happen. But what about the times when you come up with a riff and next thing you know, you got a song by the end of rehearsal?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like,
I always talk about the writing process as being like anyone who comes in with a riff and say, learn this. I said, I'll learn it. And I become very good at learning other people's riffs and how to adjust to them. But they're not going to be as much fun as us taking a riff and jamming it and messing with it and slowing it down, speeding it up, adding something at the end, and just 4 or 5 people talking about it while they're doing it, like going through it, play it once. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's speed it up. You do something there. And just nobody being in control. And that's what this is. Neither one of us has total control over the situation. No, and that's what makes it. I wouldn't want it either.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun with us interacting this way. It's got to be that way with bands too.
It's got to be in everything. Either you're in a band or you're in a podcast or learning what's around you. My dad was Greek. So I used to have to sit there and go from Manhattan in Long Island traffic on the Long Island Expressway in a white work van, AM radio, no AC, listening to my dad's Greek cassettes. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, and I would try to figure out what the words. And I mean, my dad was into country Greek music, so it was all about the war. So everything was all depressing. I left my land, and so he was like, Souvlaki, Panay, Pakapu. And my dad would be singing, like, and my dad couldn't sing a note.
God just about long hair and ass sex.
Yeah. My dad, I love you, but he couldn't sing. And my dad would be like, Souvlaki, And I'm sitting there like this, and I would never smoke cigarettes in front of my dad. You know what I'm saying? That was something I won't do. And then I was just sitting there going, I'm dying for a fucking cigarette. I'm going to choke this fucking Greek. I'm going to choke this fucking Greek out if you don't fucking... Remember Z-Rock? AM?
Yes.
Z-Rock? So he would let us put it on Z-Rock.
You remember Z-Rock, right?
Before my time.
Get out of here. You don't remember Z-Rock. I saw the blank stare in his face.
Yeah, it was
the way I normally look.
AM, New York had a channel called Z-Rock. It was 1480 Z-Rock. Yep. It was just all metal. It was like what the Boneyard is on.
Yeah.
Which I'm about to ask you guys next. But anyway, so that was... I remember going to Circuit City. It's and buying my first XM radio. And I got the portable one so I could take it out of the car and stuff like
that.
My
Fi, I had that.
Yeah, I had the little gray one and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God. It's just
I bet we bought it for different reasons though.
Well, you had for O&A?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the parts reason why I got it. And then when fucking Howard Stern went to Sirius, I'm like, sorry, buddy, I'm not. I already have XM. This is before they merged. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I already got the XM. And that goes back to my other thing. So I get XM radio. I'm like, all right, this is fucking cool. Even till today, I have it in the car, and I'm like, but then you start hearing the same songs every fucking day.
Yep.
The same vein.
That was the Sirius takeover.
XM was a little wilder.
XM was a little more open and a little more. I remember they had an actual punk station where you would hear bands like H2O and Agnostic Front and stuff like that. When they merged, Sirius took the majority, you know, and they said it was going to be a split, but eventually it was just basically a takeover.
It was a gutting,
and they put in their music program.
Yep.
And now it's like you said, it's like regular radio. You're gonna turn it on. You're gonna hear, you know, if you're listening to, oh God, I'm gonna say it.
No, I mean I listen to the Boneyard. I do a lot of driving. So every day I heard this fucking song.
Octane, Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, Octane with 5 Finger Death Punch.
I hate that band so much.
And I remember when I got off of terrestrial radio, it was like K-Rock was playing Chili Peppers like 5 times every hour.
Oh my God!
It was like hello.
Talk about bands I hate.
It was the same fucking songs over and over, and then I jump over to XM, and the first the first week you're like, oh my God, listen to that listen to the Iron Maiden song. And you never hear Run to the Hills on the radio, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then a month later you're like, oh my God, again they're playing fucking Iron Maiden.
It's the infinite playlist that they invented, where they'll cycle it and then they'll change to a different playlist for like 6 hours and they'll go right back to A again. It's A, B, and then maybe a C, and that's 24-hour cycle. So it's running 24 hours a day, and they're just playing these lists over and over again with no variation, and that's the problem. Yeah. There's no new injection, and if the new injection we
only own the rights to these songs, so we can only play what's off this list and shit like that. But hey, you're watching the 757 Hustle Show. My name is George. We're hanging out here today. I'm here with Mike and Dave. Hit the Stage with their podcast. Where can we find you guys?
Oh, me? All right. So let's start with we'll start with my Instagram. It's Noogs29 NOOGZ29. We have Hit the Stage podcast also on Instagram. What else do we have?
Hitthestagepodcast.com for our links to the RSS feed for the actual podcast itself, or you can go on YouTube to Hit the Stage Podcast, or search us Mike and Dave Hit the Stage. I'm basher.exe on Instagram, and I think that's everything. That's
we have a Discord as well.
Yes.
It's you can go to any one of our.
Send me all your info, and when I'll post this, I'll have it all.
Excellent.
I'll have it all down. So you guys are on YouTube. You guys are on
yes,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both in video and audio.
Okay, so like and subscribe to these guys. Like and subscribe. Check them out. I'm going to have all their information in the description, so follow them if you're into. What do we have coming up on the show? Give me this. Give me some few past subjects you guys have and some upcoming stuff you guys have. If you can.
I will pull up the list.
Oh, we got a list, everybody.
Well, we keep our playlists up and archived on a regular basis. We want to make sure that if we need to pull back on something, we can always look back. And if people want to hear the music that we're talking about, they can just go pick the episode and they'll see the list. Some of the more recent ones that were amazing for me to do. And by the way, this is not even the right YouTube. That would help. Oh, I know what I did. There we go. There.
It's his Pornhub.
Yeah, no, it totally was. I saw the word midget. I knew I was in the wrong spot. Here we go. Here. Playlists. There we go. So, upcoming, we have Storm Area 51, which I don't even know what that means. Florida Man, which you can guess what that means. The 80s, part 3, we think.
Yeah,
we're not quite sure.
How many we've done?
How many of those we've done? We're going to do a retrospective on Ozzy Osbourne, because who doesn't? He influenced everybody. And some of the cool previous stuff, we did an episode, So Very Creepy. We had Dreams versus Nightmares. Uplift, which was all upbeat numbers, which is weird for me. I have something planned called Cringe Theater, where I want to play really cringy YouTube videos, just to see him react to them.
Nice.
And they're mostly music videos.
So
and the Antisocial Social Club.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
thanks again, Mike and Dave. Hit the Stage podcast. Check them out. Listen to them. Subscribe to the channel. Make them blow up like Cobain's head. And we want to wish them the best and all that stuff, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Way bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Hail Halford.
Hail Halford.
We got shows booked, and you say you're doing a